Good morning from Portaventura, where today I'm here to check out Ferrari Land. Now this theme park is quite a new one. It opened back in 2017 and cost 100 million euros to build and construct. Inside here we've got two S&S shot and drop towers alongside a flying theatre, and the main attraction itself, an Intamin accelerated coaster, 0 to 112 miles per hour in just under 5 seconds, and it stands at a staggering height of just over 300 feet. It's a huge roller coaster. It's the fastest and tallest currently operating roller coaster in Europe, and of course I'm very excited to check it out. One of my fastest roller coasters I've ever been, well, the fastest roller coaster that I've ever been on, so yeah, very excited to get on that. Ferrari Land is not a theme park that you need to stay at all day. In terms of operating hours today, it opens at 1 PM and closes at 10 PM. However, I'm not planning to stay that long. My plan is today to get on the main roller coaster, Red Force, do the two S&S shot and drop towers, and if I have time, check out the Ferrari Museum alongside the Flying Theatre. But join me here from Ferrari Land for my first ever visit and getting on Europe's fastest and tallest roller coaster. And here's a look at the main entrance for Ferrari Land, and I don't think it's too expensive to come in this park. I think I paid around about 19 euros online, and park hours are 1 PM until 10 PM. So I don't think that's too bad. I think that's quite good value. Of course, it doesn't have loads of rides and attractions. Over there in the distance, you can see the main Intamin accelerated coaster. Of course, Red Force, Europe's fastest and tallest, emerging from the trees over there. And also, you may just be able to make out there the two S&S shot and drop towers. And there's something very interesting about these two drop towers, which I'll tell you when we head over to them. But it's around about 12:30, and of course the entrance opens at 1 PM, so we'll wait around for Ferrari Land to open. I said just then that the price to head into Ferrari Land was 19 euros. However, if you're staying in the Portaventura hotel, then you do get 1 day free at Ferrari Land, which I think is quite good value really. Of course, if you're staying in the hotel, you get access to the main Portaventura hotel for however long you want. You can go in every day, pop in for just 1 hour, it doesn't really matter. However, they give you a free day at Ferrari Land, which I think is quite good value. But yeah, it is 19 euros if you do pay online. It's currently 12:59. I'm ready to head in Ferrari Land. I've come round to the other entrance, which is literally by Portaventura theme park, which is just round there, and you can see the queue spreading all the way to the back of the entrance turnstiles down there, and yeah, we're right at the front of the queue, so it shouldn't be too long. I'm going to run straight over to the main coaster because look, judging by this queue, it's going to be quite a busy day down here at Ferrari Land. But we'll head in, scan the hotel pass, and get straight to Red Force. Now the entrance to Ferrari Land is awesome. You can see the racing car just there and the nice huge entrance with the Ferrari Land logo. Looks very nice, and a very big entrance plaza, which is great, and all the floor is nicely done as well, along with the planting and flowers around this area. And I have just sprinted all the way from the main entrance to get to Red Force and have one of the first trains of the day. Just a few people ahead of me, and yeah, there was no way I was waiting all this cattle queue for Red Force. Completely out of breath here. That's the most amount of running I've done probably about ever, yeah, about a year. God, I can't wait to get on Red Force. Love the station, but I'm exhausted. Anyway, very excited to get on Red Force. The Intamin launch coaster, 0 to 112 miles per hour in just under 5 seconds. So LSM launch, which is linear synchronized motors. As you can see just there, the fins. And here we are in the queue. Shouldn't be too long till we get on Red Force. Let's go. Well, I tell you what, I've never ran so fast in my life to get on a roller coaster. That has to be a personal record for me. Look at Red Force go. I'm now in the queue for a second ride, and this is what I mean. This is why I ran to this ride, because the queue really does build up down here. But I'm gonna wait it. It's probably around about 30 minutes from this point. Gonna wait it for another ride. And the best thing about that run is that I got on front row with the goggles as well, and I explained my full thoughts to this attraction when I come off from a second ride. But I'm going to go towards the back of the train on this one, so that means I've had two different experiences, at the back and also on front row, which was awesome. But I'll explain my full thoughts once I've weighted the cube. What I also want to say is, it's so photogenic. Like, look at the coaster's top hat, and then right next to it, you've got the 2 shot and drop towers. Looks really awesome with the Ferrari logo in the middle as well. And the queue is moving quite fast, to be fair, down here at Red Force. This ride also offers single riders, which is awesome. However, you do have to wait all of this queue before you can be split up into the single rider queue. Twice again, we're in front row, and I'm not going to complain because front row was awesome on Red Force, and you can hear the launch just there. But yeah, quite like the station for this ride actually. It's got nice lighting all around. Oh, they're doing a little bit of a swap. Pit stop station, like pit stop. In the F1. Yeah, in the F1. I'm not an F1 expert, but pit stop station. And here comes the train. Nice, comfortable lap bars on this. And then awesomely, a pit wall. It's called a pit wall, everyone. Nice themed F1 cars or trains on this one as well. You can see the wheels there at the front, and here we go, move forward. They're going on. Oh, the hug of last before they launch out of this station at 112 miles per hour. One last hug. Hey! I've got the wheels. Yeah, I love the train design on this. Awesome. Of course, as I said earlier, front row have got to wear those goggles, and these 2 boys are wearing them just here. And they're about to launch. Keep your head back, brace yourself, see you later. There we go, quite a short train on this one as well. My train's just about to head in. And you can see it in there in the reflection of the mirror, launching out of the station. And here comes our train. Right, see you in a few minutes. You can see Red Force just behind me, standing at over 300 feet in the air. It's a brilliant coaster with a launch of 112 miles per hour. I've finally ridden Europe's tallest and fastest coaster, which is currently in operation. I can finally tick that off the list. It is a Red Force, and I enjoyed every single second of that amazing coaster. It really was great. I was on front row both times as well. Wearing the goggles as well is a really cool experience. You're putting them on, you're bracing yourself ready for the launch. On this, it's a blind launch every time. You don't know when it's going to come. No lights or traffic lights or anything like that. No audio. You're just launching whenever you go. Literally on the first round, I was like proper taken back on that because the launch is so fast. The launch feels like it doesn't even, like it doesn't stop. Like it just keeps going faster, faster, faster until you reach the top speed of 112 miles per hour, and it slowly climbs the huge top hat just in the distance there. It almost feels like it's not going to reach the top hat. It goes over quite slow in my opinion actually. And then of course you plummet down into a small airtime hill, which unfortunately there's loads of brake trims on that airtime hill. So you don't get much airtime at all. However, I did really enjoy Red Force. It's a brilliant coaster. I feel like it's a tried and tested method. You've got many coasters that Intamin have created with this top hat. And Red Force is definitely one of the best that I've ridden. I've only actually ridden 2 with the huge top hats, Stealth and now Red Force. And I definitely prefer Red Force, of course, because of the height. However, Stealth's launch feels much more impactful, and that's because it's a hydraulic launch. It has a huge cable that pulls the car really fast. On Stealth, of course, it's 0 to 80 miles per hour. Whereas on this, because it's magnets, you've got opposite attraction of magnets on the car and also on the track, which makes the coaster propel forward. It just feels a little bit slower, maybe a little bit less intense in terms of the G-force pulls on there. However, I really did enjoy the coaster. There's no doubt about it. It's one of my favourite coasters worldwide. It is really good. The speed on there is awesome, and it's, you know, the little gimmicky thing with the goggles is quite cool as well. Next up though, it's time to head over to less intense rides here at Ferrari World. Of course, it's got to be the 2 S&S shot and drop towers towards the back of the park. However, Red Force is an amazing coaster. Let's head over. And literally right next to Red Force, there's these stands here, actually like Formula 1 racing. And yeah, you get a really nice view of Red Force there, and the huge top hat, and also the very long launch, 0 to 112 miles per hour in just 5 seconds. It's a huge coaster, look at it there, towering above the whole of Portaventura, and up there, as I said earlier, you get some really nice views. Here it comes though. Some really nice views of like the car park and over towards houses and hotels as well. It does look really cool. Such a photogenic coaster. Oh, but I tell you what, this launch is so fast. Like, you really don't expect it. As I said on my first ride, I was like, wow, that was fast. Like, you really wasn't expecting it. And it doesn't just instantly go fast. It gradually gets faster and faster and faster on these LSMs just here, which are linear synchronized motors, which is basically where the two magnets repel, and that's what makes the coaster go forward at such a high speed. Whereas Stealth and Rita, those are hydraulic launches where like a big cable pulls the car. So yeah, a bit of a difference between the two launches. But yeah, I tell you what, this is fast. Gradually gets faster and faster. It doesn't have the same sort of forces as Stealth and Rita with a classic hydraulic launch. However, it gets faster and faster, and I really do like that. Such a cool coaster with the Ferrari logo in the middle as well. Awesome. And yeah, if you're not riding, you can still get a nice view of the coaster, watch your friends and family on it up here in the stands. And also, they have a really nice big screen here where you can watch the coaster. They've got cameras all around the ride layout, so you can see that camera there is pointing on the launch. And also, I think we should see in a second, the camera view will change from the launch, there we go, and it will change to the top part of the ride, as you can see just there. So it changes view. It's a live view as well. It's not just pre-recorded, it's live. What's happening right now. Look, the coaster's coming there. Just coming down the top hat, and that was on the top hat section just there. So you get a live view, a close-up of the train going through all the course layout. So it's great that they have this stand. A really nice idea for people who aren't tall enough to ride, or for people who don't want to experience the thrill of a 112 mile/hour launch. With that said though, I'm going to head over to the two S&S shot and drop towers in Ferrari Land now. Time for a ride then on the thrill towers down here at Ferrari Land. And yeah, it doesn't look like too big of a queue, so we'll head in. Also, it's got some nice shade over it as well. So I've just been on one of the thrill towers down here at Ferrari Land, and yeah, everything that you expect really from an S&S shot and drop tower. And the interesting things about these two drop towers is that one of them is the combo tower, so that shoots you up and also drops you for a free fall like you expect with a classic drop tower. And the other one is just a free fall, so it won't do the shot up to the top, it will rather take you slowly up to the top and drop you. Unfortunately, only one of the towers are working today, which is the combo, so I sort of got the best of both worlds. And yeah, I'm not a huge fan of S&S shot and drop towers. I much prefer the ones at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Well, the one at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, Tango Ice Blast, that was way more comfortable. In terms of seating arrangements on here, it's 3 each side. And yeah, while I did enjoy the combo aspect of it, the shot up and also the drop down, it really doesn't pull that much forces at all. I mean, you're getting, it's not the forces that you get on like Hurricane Condor or Apocalypse that used to be at Drayton Manor, not like those full-on, fully fledged drop towers. These are like, you know, compressed air. They're not the same as drop towers. However, I still thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't really like the seats and restraint on this one though, because you think back to Pleasure Beach and Tango Ice Blast and other S&S shot and drop towers, they have like a metal seat belt. These felt really cheap, like they just had a plastic seat belt, and the seats weren't comfortable at all. Much preferred the comfort of the Tango Ice Blast S&S drop tower over at Pleasure Beach. But overall, it's a nice filler attraction. It's a flat ride at the end of the day, and yeah, really did enjoy it. I much preferred probably the drop down. I'm not a huge fan of the you know, the launches up. They're not my favourite flat ride, but it's nice to have here in Ferrari Land, and yeah, it'd be nice to see both of them operating. With that said, there's not many attractions more to do here in Ferrari Land. I think I'm going to head over and check out what the Flying Theatre has to offer here at the park. Bear in mind the two thrill towers down here at Ferrari Land are only 1.3 metres to ride, so it is more accessible to younger guests, which is great to see. But yeah, unfortunately that tower there isn't working today. It's just the combo tower that I've just ridden here, and yeah, it's an alright ride experience. Nothing special. I wouldn't wait in a queue over 25 minutes or 20 minutes for these really, which the queue was only about 20 minutes. It's only going around that corner. I mean, I would no way wait all of this cattle pen just here for it, but it's still a nice little ride to have. And yeah, they look really new. This opened back in 2017 alongside the park and also Red Force. It'd be nice to be both of them, see them both open, because you get some quite nice interactions when it launches up, and that one's up there as well, like waving to each of the towers. Would be quite cool. Anyway, with that said, we'll carry on with our day down here at Ferrari Land. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Formula racing, neither do I know a lot about it. However, you can see some of the cars down here at Ferrari Land. And yeah, I have a photo with them, with jackets on over there as well, which are quite cool. And yeah, they look like they're in the pit stop having some work done, some tyre changes. Oh look, you can actually change them yourself. That's really cool, isn't it? Oh look, you can take them off. Oh, that's quite cool, so you can have that experience as well. Not too sure whether it's an upcharge or something, I assume it is. Wow, look at that. Get to change your wheel on your own F1 car. How cool is that? Wow, awesome. And I've ridden 2 of the major thrill rides down here at Ferrari Land, and to be honest, there's not much more to do except from the flying theatre, and also you've got a gallery in the centre just there as well, showing all the different cars. And talking of cars, here's one in front of you just there. Ferrari car. I'm not too sure, I'm not a huge car enthusiast. If you're in the comments, let me know down below, is this a good car or not? No idea, but yeah, we're here in the sort of kiddie land, or Ferrari Land, I guess you can call it. And you've got some flying aeroplanes just here. Don't really fit the theme of Ferrari, don't know why they're aeroplanes, but there you go. Maybe shouldn't have been Ferrari cars? I don't know. But there we go. There's Red Force, and also the 2 thrill towers in the distance just there as well. And there's also quite a big stage around this corner. I think this park could really do with another major coaster. It feels a little bit empty in terms of the amount of thrill rides that they have down here. I mean, it's quite cheap to come in, 19 euros, which isn't bad. But in terms of thrill rides, I mean, they've only got the main coaster and the 2 thrill towers, well, the 1 thrill tower today. So yeah, I really could do with like another standout coaster. I know this would still be their main attraction, but another sideline coaster. I don't know what they could do, maybe a spinning coaster or something like that, just something to complement these 2 thrill rides down here at the park. And down here in Ferrari Land, they also have quite a big stage actually, which looks really good. Looks really permanent, you've got the Ferrari logo just there. And yeah, they do an acrobatic show of 3 different times during the day. 6 o'clock, 7:30 and also 9 o'clock. Every day except from Monday on there. But yeah, you've got like a basketball hoop. I think this would be quite a good watch, to be fair. Not too sure whether I'm going to stay and watch it today. However, if I do capture it, I'll film a few highlights for you. Well, I tell you what, those brake trims work hard on Red Force. Here's another coaster then at Ferrari Land, a junior Red Force, if you could call it that. Yeah, it's a 2-lap special as well, which is quite cool. But yeah, it could really do with another coaster at this park. I mean, this is not even on a permanent base just here. Could really do with another thrill coaster to complement Red Force, and this be their like junior coaster, and then like a coaster in between, and then of course you've got the huge Red Force just there. Maybe like a 1.3 meter high restriction coaster, I think would suit this park really well. Either that or another thrilling coaster, because right now it feels quite bare. Just to the right of me as well, you've got this very interesting flat ride. It looks like, I don't know what it looks like. It looks like a Miami Funfair ride, which rocks as well. I think it's manufactured by Vekoma, this one. Yeah, very interesting. It doesn't look too happy though, does he, the face on there? Come on, cheer up, you're right next to Red Force. I know you're not the main attraction of this park, but you know, you still stood next to one of the best coasters, or the best coaster in this park. Come on, cheer up a bit. But yeah, it's a really nice park down here. Not too much to do after the 2 main coasters, but I think I might go and have a look potentially at the Flying Theatre next, or either inside the gallery. This park is actually really nicely themed and everything looks quite new. Of course, it only opened back in 2017. And yeah, like look at this facade just here. Wow, it looks really nice, really old sort of architecture. And to the right there's some restaurants, which also has a really nice facade on them as well. Really nice theming. I mean, right next door you've got Red Force, which is just really steel red panels put together. And then to the left of it, you've got some awesome architecture and theming. Looks really nice. So I've just been on the Ferrari experience down here at Ferrari Land. It's a flying theatre sort of simulation ride in there, and I've got to say it's probably one of the most pathetic screen-based rides I've ever been on in my entire life of reviewing theme parks and attractions. Honestly, that was dreadful. I don't know how Portaventura let that operate in the current state that it is. Waited just over an hour for this attraction. It took such a long time to actually get on the ride. Of course you queue in the normal queue as you saw in there, some quite nice bits of projection mapping, and yeah, quite nicely air conditioned in there, so nothing against the queue. And then you head into a waiting area, waited there for about 10 minutes, and you head into another waiting area, and then a pre-show pre-show comes on, which is, it's not the best pre-show, I mean it's just a projection really, at least it's translated into English as well, which is great. And then you head into the main sort of area, you get your glasses on, your 3D glasses of course, and then wait around for the doors to open. Then you then sit in a car and you wait even longer. So this ride is a waiting game, it really is. And then of course the ride begins, and it's the most shocking simulator. I can't put into words, I can't describe how shocking that ride is. It really is in a dreadful state. And I don't know why Ferrari put their name to that, honestly. Ferrari put their name to it, and all of the drivers who were in the pre-show videos there. I mean, Portaventura should be ashamed of themselves for letting that operate in that state. There's literally a hole in the wall in the flying simulator, literally a physical hole that is in the wall, and they let it operate like that. The bottom layer of cars weren't working. Of course, in this sort of simulation ride, there's 3 different layers of cars. The bottom floor of layers of cars weren't working, hence why the queue was so long. And yeah, it was just so terrible. The graphics on there looked like they were from the PS1. I mean, not PS2, PS1. PS2, saying the graphics in there look like the PS2 would really be an insult to the PS2. The graphics in there were terrible. The effects in there didn't make sense at all. Like, there were some wind effects, to be fair, but we were drifting and then random puffs of air would come at you, and I was like, why? It doesn't make sense. Why? Like, we've been drifting for the past 10 seconds and all of a sudden there's wind now. Water effects weren't working in there as well, so when there was like skidding and like oil leaking from the car, I assume there's meant to be water there, they weren't working. A shocking ride. I can't believe I queued longer for that than on Red Force. It's pathetic. Really is a pathetic ride. I've gone on many screen-based attractions. Probably one of my most favourite rides, sort of flat rides these are. I really like going in and being fully immersed, and that really didn't cut it. There's a barrier in front of you which you can see throughout the ride, and it really wasn't immersive. You look like you turn your head a tiny bit and you can see like the rest of the wall, all of the cars. It's really not immersive at all. They basically placed a giant cinema dome screen in front of you and said, there you go, we'll put some terrible graphics on which look like they're filmed by a potato, and we'll put that on the screen for you. There you go, and there's a flying theatre attraction. Considering that was made back in 2017 and it still operates to this day, it's crazy. I mean, the graphics in there do not look like they're from 2017. They look from about 2010, 2005 sort of time, but it really wasn't great. Definitely, if that's over a 10-minute queue, don't do it. Wouldn't bother queuing for them at all. Ferrari Land isn't the biggest of parks. However, I'm not going to let that spoil my day. I've had a really, really good couple of hours in here, going on Red Force and also the 2 Twin Towers. But in terms of that flying theatre experience, it was terrible. I don't know why Portaventura still let that operate. That should be totally ripped out and a new gen flying theatre being put in there. I mean, take this as an example. Fly of the Skyline over at Legoland is better than that. That is the worst screen-based attraction I've ever been on. If the Ferrari experience is over a 10-minute wait, do not bother with it at all. Come and try out the Ferrari play area just down here, which is perfect for the kids, especially on a hot day, because it looks like it's got a little bit of shade down there as well, which is cool. They've also got a Ferrari shop here selling a range of different Ferrari merchandise, from rides such as Red Force to like your generic sort of Ferrari merch in there as well. It is quite expensive though. I was having a look, and a Ferrari ride mug is just over 20 euros. I think it was something like 25 euros, so it's really expensive. Won't be buying any merch from there. I recommend going to the actual Portaventura theme park, because they've got plenty of merch in there from like rides such as Shambhala, Furious Bacco, and it's much cheaper. Like a Shambhala t-shirt over in there is like 15 euros compared to like 25 euros for a mug. Very, very expensive. But with that said, I'll head out of the park now and wrap up this vlog here from Ferrari Land. So there we go, that's everything that Ferrari Land has to offer down here at Portaventura. The 2 main attractions in this theme park are the 2 S&S shot and drop towers, and of course a Red Force, the fastest and tallest currently operating coaster in Europe. The flying simulator or racing simulator is really not worth it. If it's anything over a 10-minute queue, don't bother with it. It's definitely not the cutting edge of technology. Considering this park is only 19 euros to get in, it's not bad at all, and definitely worth a visit if you come into the main Portaventura theme park. You definitely need nothing over 4 or 5 hours in this park. You can get everything done and head back to Portaventura. In terms of queue times today, they were really, really low. I mean, I ran to Red Force this morning, however, later on in the day, it was only on a 10-minute queue, so not that much of queuing in terms of getting in Ferrari Land, because I don't know why, I thought that it was going to be really busy today, but it seems like the crowd levels here at Portaventura has really gone down. But as we start to head into these summer holidays, I think they will really pick up. In terms of queue times for the 2 S&S shot and drop towers, only around 15-20 minutes, not too bad. And the flying simulator, was an hour. I can't believe I've wasted an hour of my life. I will never ever get that back. But there we go, that's Ferrari Land down here at Portaventura. If you haven't already, go and check out the Portaventura vlog, a very exciting one, and we used the fast tracks and got on shambhala just under 15 times, which is incredible. But with that said, Ferrari Land down here at Portaventura, definitely worth a visit. If you haven't already, do consider subscribing. Plenty more videos and vlogs on the way. The next video here on the channel will be a vlog from Portaventura's Kariba Aquatic Park, a really nice water park down here at Portaventura. But with that said, I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.